how I taught gerrymandering to my students on election day and today's ThinkShare. Hello and welcome to ThinkShare. My name's Zach, here to bring something thinking about, sharing about, talking about, listening to, reading about that doesn't belong in math class. In this case, it does belong in math class. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. Also, if you are a teacher and you're on Teachers Pay Teachers, I'd love for you to follow me on there as I'm starting to produce content and put that on there. A lot of stuff for free. So I'm really excited actually to share about this as I'm watching the election come in and you see them talk about all these districts, and it's literally what I was teaching my students today so they have a better understanding of it. So I work at a special education school, and one of the things that we have is seating charts. Most teachers have these. So if you look at this closely, there are 9 seats in the class. The first thing that I showed them was 2 seating charts with X's and O's, one being a political party, one being another political party. And what I did was I switched how I set it up. So in that first one, you can notice that there's the West that wins with the O's 2-1, the Central, which the X's win 2-1, and then the East, the X's win 2-1. So then they can see down here, the West wins the O's, the Central wins the X's, East wins X's, and the overall, the X's are going to win. I didn't change the X's and O's, but you'll notice that it is gerrymandered to be different. So we can also notice the popular vote, 5 X's and 4 O's. The X's should technically win if we're doing the popular vote, but this time we'll notice that the O's win in the North, the O's win in the West, and the X's win in the East. So it's been gerrymandered so that the O's will win because they win 2 of the 3 districts. So most students were actually able to figure this out pretty quickly. So just the idea of saying who won and then them seeing, okay, they won 2 of the 3 districts. Most of my students were able to put that together and were able to figure out the overall winner. I saw a lot of confused faces, which was really awesome because they were noticing the popular vote. And so I was able to say, oh, you're noticing that there's more X's than O's, period, no matter how it's cut up. And so my starting question was, what is the difference between these two? What's even different? And some people said, oh, it's X and O's. I said, if you look closely, they're actually exactly the same. And I waited until hearing people say, oh, it's just how it's split up. So from there, I had them watch a video which I thought was very short, very to the point, and I'll put it in the description below. And what it was is just a quick video explaining gerrymandering and showing 50 dots, 20 red, 30 blue, and they showed 3 ways you can cut the graph so that one is gerrymandered to be all blue, one's gerrymandered to be like representative, which would be 3 blue, 2 red, and then one's gerrymandered to be 3 red, 2 blue. So before showing them, what I realized is before showing them the answer to it, I had a couple students try to come up to the board and try to figure out and draw puzzles on the board. A couple people asked for graph paper and colored pencils so that they could draw them out and try to figure them out on their papers. And this was like, for me, the funnest part was just looking around the class, looking at a bunch of students like trying to figure it out themselves. So that was, as a teacher, that's what you hope every day looks like, is them just being intrinsically motivated to try to figure out the problem being put in front of them. So they were trying to figure out how can we, like they understood gerrymandering. I don't think it's easy to describe what gerrymandering is, but I told them your goal is to swing the election, like figure it out. You pretty much know where the votes are. And then the last worksheet, which again, I'll put on Teachers Pay Teachers for free. I'll put a more generic version, but this is specific to our school. So I said this year at our school, we're gonna allocate $1,000 to one event over the other. You could do it to like sports teams or to clubs or something. and I showed them how the votes were gonna go within like the classroom or like within the school. It's like you could have the history in the math department or something, right? So there were 50 total. So it was the haunted house and the carnival were two different events that we have. So on here you'll see CARN and HH. And so again, I put those dots before the class started on the board, nice and spread apart, so that I could have someone come up and try to gerrymander it. And so I said, okay, which event did you like better? I want you to now gerrymander this chart so that the thing that you want wins. You already know where the votes are going to be. Your job is to swing the election on purpose. And so I had so much fun today. I got some good feedback from my peers, and the director of my program came in to watch a little bit. So I thought I would share it with you guys. It's really good for election day. You know, we didn't really talk about the candidates. Oh, I forgot to show this. This is what one of my students put together. And this is what one of my other students put together. Some of them decided to, actually multiple people tried moving them around. I was like, what are you doing? You can't force them to move and then gerrymander it. Like, you gotta stick with where they are. Like, they live where they live. Which they didn't all understand that quite up front, but it was meant to be kind of scattered about. But I thought it was a really good lesson. It was non-partisan. It was really easy to teach and not talk about candidates. You could just say red and blue. And I think they got the point that one has a certain set of beliefs, one has another set of beliefs. And like when you have it hitting home, like say it's $1,000 is going to the chess club or the lacrosse team, and this is how people are mostly split up with their votes. One thing I thought about doing was creating literally in the moment, like asking a bunch of them, like, do you want cookies or brownies? But I wasn't trusting that I would get perfect data, that I would be able to gerrymander it the way that I wanted to. One other challenge question, which was pretty fun, was I said, okay, if that $1,000 were allocated, so if there's 5 districts, right? And that $1,000 is split 5 ways depending on how many votes there are, could you gerrymander it so that you have 4-to-1 instead of 3-to-2? Like if it's not a winner take all. So really fun. If you're a math teacher, if you're a history or economics or sociology or political teacher, I'll put the links to the things in the description. I had a lot of fun teaching this. It was super fun for election day, as a lot of schools have the day off and it's for election day, but we did not. So it was a good little break from a lot of the math content that we're doing. So hope this was useful. Hope you enjoy it. I hope someone uses this. It was just super fun having them learn how to swing elections with gerrymandering, which feels like illegal when it's not. So thank you for watching. If you like this, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it. What other things you might want to see me put on Teachers Pay Teachers. Seriously though, if you are a teacher, please, I would love to have some followers or just some ratings. I've had 36 downloads on one of my sets of word problems for Slope, and no ratings yet, which has been a little disappointing. But I borrow a ton of things off Teachers Pay Teachers and haven't put ratings, so I'm gonna start doing that. Pay it forward. Thank you. Stay weird, humans.
Yo, can I get a White Claw? Maybe. What do you mean? Aren't you the bartender? Oh no, so I'm actually your bar delegate. So you give me your order, and then I go in there and order what I think you should get. What you think I should get? You're gonna get me the White Claw. Well, technically I can order whatever I want, you know, so it could be White Claw, it could be milk. Milk? Why? Yeah. Why would I want to drink milk at a Well, you know, don't knock it till you try it. Okay, but ideally, if I order White Claw, you'll get me White Claw. Yes, technically, but then I have to meet with the other delegates from the other sections of the party and see what they ordered, you know, and if most of us ordered White Claw, then you'll get White Claw. But if most of us ordered milk... Stop bringing up the milk. Okay. Why is this even a thing? Well, it's supposed to make sure that all sections of the party get a fair say in the order, you know, so we're not just paying attention to the crowded areas. Oh, the results are in. Looks like a majority of people ordered White Claw. All right. But a majority of delegates ordered milk. So it's gonna be milk.